And that brings us to 77 minutes in heaven. It's been 11 episodes. You know what I'm doing there. I guess we are good at numbers. Guys, hey, listen, we're going to take a look back at the best scenes where we really talked about it. When you're talking about the films, well, we just omitted films before, but now we really get to pay them homage and really talk about the best scenes from the best films of the year. So guys, hey, check it out. He interrupts the King's Day. He does it purposely late. Like when you talk about what Killmonger, how they didn't flesh him out, and Baku came over that way for me. But when he does those things, before he can even get done talking, T'Challa, which he never does, never disrespectful, interrupts. Because remember he said, a man who could not protect his own father. So instead of brashfully coming out like, man, f you, all this other shit, what does he say? He lets M'Baku keep telling him, I accept your challenge. Glory to honor, man. So then they fight. They have a good battle. And at the end, when T'Challa, unlike Killmonger, don't tell me they didn't develop the characters, could have killed M'Baku. What does he say? He's like, please, man, yield. Yeah. Your people need you, which goes a long way to say, I don't care what our differences are. I don't have to kill you. I can still defeat you and let you know I'm still going to do my thing, but your people still need you because your people's supposed to be my people. That scene was so powerful that people just shove it across because Killmonger didn't exercise that same. He was so filled with blood and vengeance and hate that he chose to kill.
Yeah, that was an awesome scene. When the protagonist, John David Washington, meets Sator, that was a great moment of the hero of the film meeting the villain of the film. The intensity was there, the tension, but all interwoven within it was just the witty dialogue. It was a perfect balance to introduce this rivalry that is apparently just going to keep going. And it had one of the best lines in the whole movie when Sator says, "Have you slept with my wife?"
Not yet.
And then he says, "How do you want to die?" And the protagonist says, "Old." And then Sator's like, "You chose the wrong profession." That like the whole that is funny in itself. Like you could just say those lines to somebody, like those are good punchlines in a dialogue scene. But then when you add it to the context of the whole film and who the protagonist is and what his role is, it goes from being just that's clever to that's like almost f***ing genius.
For this film that made me bust out laughing, and I'm pretty sure Tier 2 came out. It was doing the prostitution scene of the film, and when Mills Mills.
Hold on, let me see Mills while you're explaining this scene.
Mills takes some substance. He turns around to this and he taps it out in his hand, and he looks back. He's like, "Do you want to see my baby bird?" And she was like, "Yeah."
It got so dark so quick.
Because the lead up to that scene is that.
He Bill Cosby'd her.
Right. No. But the lead up to the scene is Banu saying, "No, he's chronicling my life." It's actually me paying him not to watch. So if anything, I don't have $50 on my person. I have it now. Like he went through every excuse. She was like, "Yeah, she want me to call my pimp."
Yeah.
Like, see, either one or two things happen. Either he was really that disturbed to where his fantasy was. Is that, like, in his mind, even when he was having sex with prostitutes, Mills was still there. That's how f***ed up he was. Or the other part of that was he was just that eccentric, that Mills was there chronicling his life while he was f***ing his prostitute. So to me, I'm sorry, man. That was my number. When he said, "Do you want to see what made him say, you want to see my," he could just turn around like, "Hey," he turned around, "You want to see my baby bird?" And she was like, he got out just like the Jesus Christ. Like who drugged somebody after sex? Yeah, that's what the was with
Only
me.
Mills, the asexual.
Jesus Christ, man. So that was my number one.
Those are solid. The municipal game. One, when they get up there, they're like, "Come pick me up in 8 hours." Like that. I know that is all right with you. Like you're like, "Yeah, sure, 8 hours, normal game." I'm like, I've never fucking played an 8-hour game. I've never done anything except for editing. Go into you don't even know if you're welcome there. Pick me up in 8 hours.
You get paid to edit, right?
Yeah.
I get paid to play poker.
All right.
What are we talking about? Hello?
What I do like about that scene, though, is when, like, he makes it abundantly clear. Do not fucking go in there. It's either me or it's you. It's not both of us. He's sitting there, everything is going so good, and they set it up like you could just. There's something about the tone when they set a scene up like that where everything's going too good. You know, like, all right, this isn't the movie.
Hey man, I met this guy down at the bowling alley.
And my face did exactly what Matt Damon's face does in that moment, like, and it hung on his face where he's just like, this is all about the beef. Like, I had it in the bag, now I don't know.
Oh, he knew.
And it was definitely...
He knew, because I'm going to let Mike call this line out. Mike, yell this from the background. What's the phrase we always say when we think somebody's cheating or they're doing something? Hey, Sarge.
He's base dealing.
Son of a bitch is base. Hey, Sarge, I caught a hanger on what?
Hey, man, don't get agitated.
And he says that to him like, aren't you guys supposed to just read us our rights or something? Like, don't get agitated. Y'all you boys working?
Yeah, that scene, that was great.
I've never seen a white man get called a boy and felt like it was a slave movie. That's the first time I felt ever. He was like, you boys working? No, sirs. We's not working together. Jesus Christ. In the club scene where Rico is showing that whole, like, when Ace comes up to him, like, man, why you gotta be like this? So to me, Ace has gotta handle him. He's been ready to handle Calvin. But once again, cinematography blocking as he's saying this to Rico. This is when I knew Rico was gonna be. I mean, we all knew Rico was gonna be the demise of him. But as Ace is trying to tell him, man, chill out. He's like, that's what I do. That's what I do. He was like, man, nah, see, that's the problem. He was like, what's the problem? He like doing a little rolling like a his mindset is that of a kid.
Yeah.
He's rolling his eyes like this mother. Like the Ace's story for everybody, like, you eating. What's the problem? And I firmly believe, I don't know if you remember this scene, I think it was a setup because, again, he was always slithering. Rico was slithering. Remember when Rico came to Ace sitting in the car just like this? Was a call back to Jay-Z sitting in the car in State Property, because that's how Jay-Z was sitting in the car, another Rockefeller film, just like that. They got Ace sitting in the car the same way. Rico comes up to Ace like, say, man, I heard something. This dude right here was trying to set you up. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to gain more loyalty to him. When he probably told that dude, like, man, he was never trying to set Ace up, and he shot a dude in the ass.
Yeah.
And that was the scene I was talking about where Rico had his name on his shirt 3 times. What the Rico? As the police is still playing in the background and it's fading. That's why I said it's a 15-minute high. My high was capped off by watching Big Sis and Lil Bro run through that house. And when I saw Lil Bro grab the heart-shaped herb from Wakanda, it had to be where there was some meteor that crashed in Wakanda, and then the young lady grabs the golf club and they're walking through this house like, yo, I don't know what happened to mom and dad, but hey, it's me and you and Big Sis got you. Like, I've never had a big sister, but I would love for that to be my big. And when you saw, like, when she killed the first, but like, you know what, I can do this. Yo, I'm about to be on some straight up murder shit. Like,
and you know, like what I really liked about, I remember the first time I saw that scene, I remember thinking, this is so nice compared to most horror movies where you're screaming at the people on the screen to be smarter, to like run. It's like even the stereotype with black people in the movie theater, like, run, bitch, run.
No.
Jordan Peele gave his people no opportunity to act crazy in the theater.
I don't know if I'm correct. I would have been mad because I definitely had that down there. If not all of them, at least the close-ups in the end when she's saying that he's me, he's you, he's all of us, they show all the people that died in the film.
When they're like taking the masks
off. God help us all, man. That was amazing. I did not even notice that the first time. He's laying in the bed after everything that's happened. And he gets shot. They don't even really explain him getting shot, but him getting shot is a callback earlier to the guy saying I didn't fill out the report. So in your mind, if you're a dark comic, you're like, it's probably the same motherfucker that did the first round, or that neighborhood itself. And that was the up part about it, ironically, is that because he was trying to get a police report for a bad neighborhood, the neighborhood apparently is already bad. Yeah. And they even interwove that with the joke you told, well, I'm holding the door for you, but no, I'm standing up for myself today. Well, that's why you got shot. Even when you stand up, you get up. He's laying in the bed, and mother Gino comes in there. He was like, hey, you know that fucker that shot you? We caught him, and we unloaded in this motherfucker. We like, so that's for you. And before I can even laugh at the shit, before I can even just really like, dude, what the did you just say? That's when the lead character simply looks at him and said, "No, I don't think that was it. I think it was an older Latino person, person." So, and right, and so to me, This is why I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you, I really with this movie. I'm gonna tell you that right now because this is the first movie that I ever seen that successfully got me to laugh at police brutality, racism, AIDS, homelessness, and depression all in one movie.
Can I help you? Yes. How can I help you? Well, you could start by wiping that f***ing stupid smile off your rosy f***ing cheeks. Then you can get me a f***ing automobile, a f***ing Buick, a f***ing Datsun, a f***ing Toyota, 4 f***ing wheels and a seat. Sir, I really don't appreciate the way you're speaking to me. Well, I really don't appreciate the way your company left me in the middle of f***ing nowhere with f***ing keys to a f***ing car that isn't f***ing there. And I really didn't appreciate to have to walk across a f***ing runway and down a f***ing highway to get back here to have you smile at my f***ing face. I want a f***ing car right f***ing now.
Can I have your rental agreement?
I threw it away.
Oh dear.
Oh dear what?
You're fucked.
And then he goes out to the outside, and you think the scene's over. No, they're not done yet. He goes out, and that guy starts out so happy-go-lucky, like a nice St. Louis Midwesterner. He's like, you know, you can catch a plane, you get there a lot faster.
Was that a joke?
Neil goes, if I wanted to hear a joke, I'd follow you into John and watch you take a leak. Pop! Pop the blink, fall down. John Candy almost smacks him, like, the whole scene is just amazing, all the way up into the nut.
Not to mention, like, hey, help your friend up. You want me to help your friend up? He goes for literally a crotch shot. He pulls the f***er up by his crotch. It's fucking insane. One of my favorite scenes, if not my favorite scene, was the scene between in that same club, which I still think is the club from Pulp Fiction. Can't confirm it or not. It's when Pam Grier and Sam Jackson are meeting and she's explaining to him the plan. She was like, I'm managing to get your money out of Mexico under the nose of the cops. So I'm a manager. I get 15%. He's like, all I'm going to give you is 10. So that scene right there to me lets me know it shows such a beautiful woman's intelligence, a beautiful black woman's intelligence to say, I'm putting it all on the line, and it resonates to the first time we see her in the movie. Like, we're on 110th Street. Go back and listen to that song. It's telling you, like, you got to do what you got to do. Like, it's not perfect. Like, I wish that we were all born into perfect situations, but guess what? I'm almost happy we didn't because it sharpens us. It defines us. And so here I see it's strategic that we said Sam Jackson has been in this whole movie. Here is her undermining everyone, but not everyone that deserves it. And I don't know if you ever saw the movie Fresh, but you've heard me mention it at least 2 times this season. I always love when someone is an underdog and considered to not be the smartest, but can outsmart everyone. So to me, that's one of my top scenes, if not my favorite scene in the film. To me, it was that moment that he said he accepted you in his life, his world of Vern, his world of Wapner, his world of his. That's the best that it was going to be. That moment there was the best. That was, if you wanted a goodbye ending, then for you it should have been Fade to Black right there. Yeah. But the film went on and reality happened. This is one of those times like you glad they just didn't wrap it up right. Like, no, like, oh yeah, they went on and lived. No, he went back. He went back, and now he's like, I'm gonna come visit you, and you don't know. They just leave hope. So to me, that was that was very emotional. I loved it. Like, you could take any sex scene. You could take Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet sweatily going at it on the Titanic. Take any physical scene that you could think of and put it up against that moment. That is such a emotionally charged moment, and like physical contact. It was just so powerful because it was like I don't want to call it foreplay about 2 brothers, but there was all of this foreplay up into that moment where you were longing for that physical contact to happen, and it's just the lightest little thing, and when it happens, it's a moment, like I said, just a moment of serenity, and like I said, them 2 meeting at that moment. So yeah, that's my top moment of the film. Find us in all these links. It's coming up right now.
Why don't you subscribe? It'll last longer.